Hi, I'm Donnny Eppstein, and I'd like to speak with you about reorganizational healing. A seminal paper on this topic was just published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine in the May 2009 edition. Accompanying this paper was a guest article by Dr. Robert Blanks speaking about reorganizational healing and its context in today's culture and the healthcare system, and a letter to the editor by Dr. Edmund Young-Kerr, who's doing research on the mathematics of a reorganizing phenomenon occurring in people. There are two approaches someone could take. One is to restore something, to fix it, to make the discomfort go away so you can go back to the life you lived in before. This is the prevailing paradigm. I call this restorative therapeutics. The idea is to restore yourself. Now, whether you have surgery, whether you have herbs, whether you take homeopathy, chiropractic osteopathy, whether you have meditate on it, whether you have anything for the purpose of making yourself more comfortable so you go back living the life you were before, this falls under the category of restorative therapeutics. I'm not saying it's wrong or bad. It just is limited in what it can do for your life. When I say it's limited, the best you get is to feel more comfortable and get your old life back. What if the symptoms and diseases you had actually could instruct you about your life? What if they give you information? What if the meeting they had for you was something that said, stop, pay attention, and do something different? What if there are different seasons in your life where how you perceive your life or your symptom or your circumstance, what you pay attention to and the type of things you do are different? Most people, when they have a crisis or symptom, go to a physician so they don't have to stop, so they don't have to do something different. And they basically don't have to pay attention. It may save your life, it may prolong your life, but it doesn't add more life to your life or give you greater depth of the human experience. How can I keep raising my standard on what I perceive, on the emotions I have, how I feel about things, the stories I have about things? How can I raise the standard on how I behave or act, get more constructive behaviors? How can I make the change I need to make in life? How can I change the structure of my body and structure of my life so that I can live a more full life? When you need that, when you're ready for that, when you want that, we have reorganizational healing. There are three parts to reorganizational healing. The first is to try to change, which is a relationship of structure of your body and your life, to the actions and behaviors you take, to the perceptions you have, what you feel, what you think, the sensations you have, your level of consciousness, and how they relate. When things are working, how do you use that relationship? When things are not working so well, how do you use that relationship between structure, perception, and behavior? If you wish to make fundamental change in your life, you must learn to master the use of your try to change and know your personalized way of utilizing it. The second is the seasons of well-being. There are seasons or cycles, forces that influence of our life. At different parts of the life, we have different influences. So these seasons predict when things are easy or difficult. There's a season of discover where we're running away from pain and we're learning to avoid something, have less of something, move away from pain, move away from discomfort. We want to disassociate or separate from that which is uncomfortable. Then there's a season of transform, where there's no such thing as a problem. A problem only exists in discover. In transform, we want to find an opportunity, a solution. We move ahead. And in the season of transform, we take action. Then there is a season of awakening, the more, quote, spiritual states, as people may call it. And a season of awakening is not about doing, it's about being. It's about gratitude, grace, and loving. Now understand this. There are times when each season is supported in your life. The third part are the energetic intelligences. Now, many traditions have spoken about for years, there's this energy field around the body. There's this informational field around the body that somehow is imbued with consciousness. Working with people, I recognize that this field is real. And I realize that each of these fields around the body contain a certain type of information. So let's talk about this. These 5 intelligences that are available to all of us is the intelligence of bioenergy, or life force, that helps you feel safe and secure and allows the tissues to heal. It keeps things the same. The next developmental energy and wisdom and intelligence is that of emotion, and its job is to radically create change so you instantly change behavior, creating a different cellular response. The next intelligence is the intelligence of thought. The ability to freeze something in time, look at it from different angles, and say, wow, maybe there's something dangerous here, I have to protect myself. Or to play it over and over and over so you can look at it from different angles. Content and context. The next thing that develops after that is spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligences are those intelligences that help you experience your core nature, similarities between you and everyone else, gratitude, grace, give the gifts you want to give in life, appreciate the energy in everything, and appreciate the oneness of it all. Which intelligence do you use most effectively? Which ones do you not use? If you're in the season, for example, of discover, you will use more life force and emotion as you're emotionally reacting to things. If you're in the season of transform, you'll use the information, you use the energy, you'll use the intelligence of thought more to direct you in a particular outcome. And as you're more spiritual states, you'll use and awaken those spiritual experiences and energies more effectively. Those are the 5 intelligences. Each one offers a different resource in experiencing and working with life. We have the seasons which offer at what time certain aspects will be supported and where they'll be more difficult. How could you use the elements of the season that supports your life most effectively? And at the center of it all is to try to change the relationship to what you do, behavior, to structures, organization, and the relationship of that to perception, the way you feel, the sensations you have, the meaning you give things. If you put them all together, you have a map on making fundamental change. So you can answer the question when someone says, what change would you like to make? You say, this is the change I'd like to make, this is where I am, and this is my map of getting there. My vision for reorganizational healing is that this model will be employed by many disciplines. That each discipline will find new outcomes, new opportunities, new goals for people, not about restoring them, but if their life rises to a higher level, what will it look like in the structure? What will it look like in the way a person perceives the consciousness levels? What will the behavior look like? So rather than just looking at a disease or a symptom as a separate element, that's related to the life. And what type of life will make so many of these problems and symptoms and diseases pretty much irrelevant by organizing to another level? My dream is that each discipline start asking a question, what is the core nature of this individual? How can we understand and support it? And how could it be advanced? And how do we all know it's working?